I mean,
Yeah.
that is the beauty of the Moonboard or any board, is that it just brings, it's like you could set up a board in Antarctica and be like sessioning with people anywhere. It's like, it's like once you get the board, that you're suddenly connected to the wide world of climbing, no matter how remote you are. This is Climbing Gold. So earlier you talked about the moonboarding community as being sort of the best part of boarding to you. Have you seen that community grow? Like, how do you feel like the board world is changing with time? I mean, in a way, it's quite young, it's quite fresh. I mean, it's only 5 years. Where do you think that the board world is going, and how do you see it growing?
Well, yeah, it's really exciting to see. I remember when I was kind of like maybe testing out, like, hey, I think I want to make a page that just has all of the benchmarks or as many as I can do for beta or to share with people. One of the reasons is I was trying to do this V8 on the 2016 set called Bazoo. It has this really wild like cross over your body. It's all black holds and it has this really wild like cross throw over your body. And I was like, okay, like I can see it, but like I kind of want to see it. And at the time, there really weren't any like pages where people were documenting all their board climbs. And I remember digging way deep into Dong Yu Lee's page. He'd been doing some board climbing. This is like 2017, early 2018. And I found a video of it like buried. Like I had to swipe a bunch of like tiles to like find it. And I was like digging in and trying to look for it. And I was like, that'd be cool if this was more like accessible or you could get motivated and see it. So that was why I decided to do a page like that. And now it's really cool. I see a lot of pages like that where people are documenting like, they put their height, they put their, wingspan, they put their weight or their age or whatever. And they're like, this is my journey to boarding. And I want to be able to look back on it. And I think that's really cool. I think it's nice to have like kind of people have this living training journal, the same as you would write down what you did for the session. They can do that. And yeah, as far as growing, my main focus right now is to just get more people exposed to board climbing, more people on the board, more people setting once they're kind of have that buy-in to regularly board climbing or they're integrating it into their training routine for whatever they want to do, if it's hard bouldering, hard sport climbing, or just general fitness, because they don't have a ton of time throughout the week. So that's my goal, and I think it's been really nice to see and to be part of it.
That just makes me feel like I need to start setting problems on the board. Because for all the board climbing I've done, I've never said anything because I'm like, I'm not really that guy. I'm so bad at it. It's like I shouldn't be setting. Now I'm like listening to you. I'm like, I should probably go set something.
Yeah, let's
It's
do
just that
it.
it's just that when they're, between 20 to 60,000 problems already on the board, it's like, how do you know that it's not, I just kind of assume that anything I can climb has already been set.
Yeah, it's that, that's an interesting point because there's certain things I remember setting on the 2016 set and I was like, this has to be a problem, has to be. And then it's not, because probably like the finish is one to the left or one to the right, but it is similar. But and I don't know. I think there's still value to it.
Hmm. I'll try to set one next time.
Oh,
I was actually
sweet.
just I was just on a expedition, whatever, on a trip, and we were climbing at this really scrappy gym in uh Punta Arenas. There we go. My bad. I was like all the different little towns in southern Chile. I was like, which one were we in? Punta Arenas. Basically, this like really, it's like the tip of the earth. It's like Tierra del Fuego type, like the end of the world. And it's like this scrappy little gym that was in a little. I think it was like a former mechanic, like it's like it was like a dirt floor basically, and then with pads over it, and just like wooden board with a bunch of holds, no commercial setting, and everybody in there is like listening to really loud Chilean rap and just like sessioning. And so everyone's just making up problems with really limited holds. So, it's like, but it was pretty fun because, with no sense of difficulty, it's like everybody just contributes a problem. And if it's too easy or too hard for you, you add a hold, you take away a hold, you try the start a little bit differently. You just kind of mess with it. But it was super fun. We did like 3 or 4 sessions in there. And each time I was like, oh, in a way, this reminds me of like being a kid at the gym where it's all playful. It's like everyone's just trying to come up with fun stuff that's right at the limit of what they can do. And it's like, it's just a really different experience than going into a commercial gym, being like, well, there's a 7. I think I should be able to flash it. Here we go. And then trying your hardest. It's like you're just playing with your buddies, coming up with things. I mean, I think that's kind of the essence of the board as well. We're just like, well, what can I do? Like, how do I share it with my friends? How do I make fun of their problems? It's all just like playing around.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that. I think that's like, there are times like I spend so much time like climbing by myself. Like I really enjoy solitude. I enjoy living like a more private life. But I really find tons of joy and satisfaction in like, like I'm gonna go climb at Ken's later in on the 2016 set. I'm like, I can't wait. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be cool. I don't even care if I have a good session or not. It's like my attitude is just really like I just look forward to it. My attitude feels like good and right doing things like that. So I'm trying to just keep pursuing that. But to your point about like remote boards, the coolest like connection, one of the coolest connections I've made is there's a board in like the Falkland Islands. It's like I
Oh,
think
wow.
yeah, I think the username, she's like shortest penguin or something. But yeah, she's like posting board climbs from the Falkland Islands, and I had to like double take and be like, wait, really? Like they got a board down there, they all set it up, like the holds are there. I'm like, this is so cool.
That is awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
that is the beauty of the moon board or any board, is that it just brings, it's like you could set up a board in Antarctica and be like sessioning with people anywhere. It's like, it's like once you get the board, that you're suddenly connected to the wide world of climbing, no matter how remote you are.